All right, guys, welcome to another video. So it's no secret by now, we lost KVK. Kind of came to a abrupt end. We were actually preparing for a big Zig fight today. I guess during our downtime last night, everything just kind of fell apart, and they essentially almost pushed us off the Zig, and then leadership called it. If I had to give a general synopsis of what happened, and I know, like Plato, just go made a video. I'm sure other people will probably make a video, but if I had to just give a general synopsis of what happened, our downtimes and their uptimes kind of like matched up. So when they were going their downtime, it was our peak uptime, and the vice versa. And they were just able to resist a little bit more during their downtime than ours. And then eventually, it kind of just like the dam broke, and we just got wiped out during our downtime. How do you solve that? I mean, I think when you're doing one alliance, you have to have an alliance full of very active players, very active, to combat a lot more numbers, or you just need more numbers, right? Or else, I think if you play any like competent opponent, and when you're severely outnumbered like this, that's always a risk that's going to happen. As far as fighting at this level, this is my first KVK fighting at this level, right? Before I was in the mid 8 seed for the most part, and I don't think I've ever played more than 8 hours in a day during Kinsland. During Kinsland, we had 3 days of Kinsland fighting. I was averaging somewhere between like 14 to 16 hours. I think this first day I played a little bit more than 16 hours, and then day 2 and 3, it was probably around like 14 hours if I had to take a guess, right? And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was tired. And then since the past 7 open, even though we didn't have a lot of open fielding, our opponent 1770, they dropped a fort wall here. We had to burn through it. So I was probably playing between 8 to 12 hours a day, other than one day going into Kinsland, which was about what, like 2 weeks, and then we had Kinsland. So in total, I think it was about like 2.5 weeks of a lot of playing. My biggest regret, if I had to name one for this, was that I actually logged off at about like 8 p.m. So I'm in Eastern time. So 8 p.m. for me, just because girlfriend started to make some comments about how I've been playing a lot and she doesn't see me. And I knew we had a big Zig fight today, and I was like, okay, let me just take the night off, spend some time with her, so that I can go do the, try to manage your life and play the game at the same time. And so the biggest regret for me was I actually wasn't there last night. I've been playing deep into the night, the first 2 nights of Kingsland, but I wasn't there for the night where kind of like the dam broke. I actually feel a little guilty, and also just kind of like a what if, like, I wish I could have done more. Thoughts about 2268. This is the most fun I've had playing this game, right? Right now I'm going on almost 2 years. I've been in 2268 for about 2.5 months. By far the most fun I've had playing this game. This game is amazing. There's always people on Discord, even during the off season, and hang out. I think the foundation here is really, really good. I know a lot of people are a little down right now. Hopefully, lick your wounds for a day or two, recover, bounce back, and then come back a lot stronger, right? I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I don't plan on going anywhere. My plan is to stay, help this kingdom grow in any way I can. I did say before I hope to be part of migration. Hopefully that ends up happening, and I could help be part of, bringing new blood into this kingdom. Contribution or performance, I ended up at about 1.8 bill KP for this KVK. My goal was 2. I'll probably end up hitting that just because I think we'll probably have a little bit more fighting, right? Just because, if anything, if you look at right now, we're still Imperium, so it's 1824. I think it's in both of our interests to drop Imperium, right, heading into off season. So, it won't be meaningful fighting, quote unquote, but I think we'll probably have a little bit more fighting. So during the meaningful fighting, I ended up getting about 1.8 bill. I think I'll probably end up going over 2 bill for this KVK, which would actually double my KP coming into this KVK. So if I had to say some thoughts for younger players, if you want to play at an Imperium level, at least for 2268, right? I think I could have contributed in KVK 5. So I just wrapped up, this is KVK 7 for me. I could have contributed enough for this kingdom and KVK 5. But KVK 4 and before, I was just too young. I don't think I could have. And another thing is, at this level, at least for 2268, probably the biggest thing that people probably don't think about or realize is you have to be able to play a lot. You know, you have to be able to be on a lot. If you're okay with playing, 14 to 16 hours a day during Kinsland for multiple days in a row, and you're willing to make that happen, then I think the Imperium level is for you. If not, you probably would enjoy a little bit lower seed more, just because you don't want that to be the expectation or requirement, and then you always feeling like you can't do it, or it's starting to like eat into your life, right? So honestly, and when I'm saying I played this many hours, there were probably 50 people that played just as much or more than me. So it's not even like I was grinding like that hard, contribution wise. KP, I think I ended up about like 30th, somewhere between like 25th to 30th. So there's obviously like not a handful, like a decent amount of players that contributed more, but there's also players that contributed less. I've had to give a shout out besides like leadership and everyone. Obviously Nikki and Nugget are king of this kingdom. They do so much. They do a lot. And then Panther, people think he's the king maybe, but he's not. But he actually also does a lot. Does a lot more than just run his mouth. And then like other players, I hesitate to start shouting out other players just because there's so many people that played a lot and contributed a lot that I don't want to miss any. But I'll just name one. Not because I don't think other players did great. It just, if I had to name one player that almost like an unsung hero, but anyone that played would know, is like I would actually want to shout out Only Farmer. Like her KP, she more than met her goals, right? Des and everything, all that. But I don't think people can really appreciate, just watching from the outside, how valuable Only Farmer is. From like getting the door for multiple alliances to always being on to do stuff that's needed. Like you don't see her doing unnecessary stuff. Like I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I end up going to the side, like finding an open field where I probably shouldn't have. But like Only Farmer is just always objective focused, always doing the little things that don't show up in stats that contributes. So like so valuable to a kingdom, right? And there's like other players. I'm just not, but there's a lot of other players. And finally, I just want to say this. I guess I am comparing us to the Chicago Bulls, but not because. Well, I'll just say it. So if you guys don't know, right, the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan, probably considered the greatest team of all time. Before they were winning championships, they were this young team that sucked. Then there was this up-and-coming team that kept taking L's and couldn't get over the hump, right? They were losing to the Celtics, they were losing to the Pistons in the late 90s, or late 80s and early 90s, until they finally broke through, and then they started their dynasty. Right now, this kind of stings. Like I like winning, I like being competitive, but it really stings because a lot of players I know gave a lot and worked really hard, and when I saw that it was over, I was really disappointed, more just for them too, just because I know how much hard work they put in. And I think a win would have felt really gratifying and good, but also the opponents were really good. So hopefully we take this as another growing opportunity. I'm sure there'll be some shifts here or there. That always happens even after you win a KVK, but I don't plan on going anywhere, and I hope from this experience we actually grow and take something that's already pretty amazing. Honestly, this kingdom's pretty awesome, and then we take it to the next level because of the experience. So lick your wounds, be a little down for a few days, but then let's actually like bounce back and then try to figure out how we can actually get better. And yeah, this KVK is the hardest as far as just like amount of time I had to put in, draining, but also the most fun KVK I've ever had. So also, if you're watching this, you're consider coming to 2268. If like the hours I'm talking about appeals to you, like the fights, I think leadership here is open to taking fights where we think we're at a disadvantage, just because you'll get more intense fighting, right? So I think after this KVK has played out, it's pretty obvious that at least numbers wise, we're at a massive disadvantage. And you know, if you even look at like the top 10, 20, 50, 100 as far as like stats, 2260 is all over the place. But at the end of the day, when you have such a big numbers disadvantage, you almost have to do that and more. So that's kind of my thoughts. A little rambling, but thoughts on 2268. This KVK had a lot of fun. You know, respect and credit to Daybreak, Greenwood, and Watercamp. They also fought really hard, and they didn't do what they did. Wouldn't have been such a competitive and fun KVK. It definitely wasn't like one-sided. It was, even as of yesterday, it was still 50-50 who was going to win, right? Because we were pushing each other during the other person's camps or coalitions downtime. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go get some sleep for the next day or two, and look for more videos on thoughts as far as like commander pairings that I thought worked really well, some lessons learned. I have a lot of thoughts on that, especially for younger players that are looking to move up in competition. Like when would be a good time, some thoughts in Siege and stuff like that. So look for more videos to come out. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.